Hello and welcome to the G.E.L podcast. My name is Ray Emling. These are my two associates, Chaz Lewis and the all-seeing orb, Matty G. It's been a while since we've done one. Between my job and Chaz's school and Matt healing the sick with his powers, we've been a little busy. So.
or destroying the sick and consuming them.
No, we're not supposed to tell. He's gonna kill us.
It's healing in a way.
It's healing for me.
It's healing through fire. Healing through fire.
That makes sense.
So today, guys, first of all, how's everyone doing? I feel like I know we have talked recently, but I feel like the community that listens to this hasn't talked to us in a while or heard from us in a while.
We haven't been on the message boards.
We have not been on the message boards. We've been on vacation.
Right.
At work.
At work. Terrible choice of vacation locale.
Mm-hmm. I'm just a workaholic.
Yeah. Chaz, are you working two jobs still?
No, I haven't worked two jobs for years. I don't know why you say that every time you talk to me.
I think it's because every time I try to talk to you, you say you're working, so I just assume that you're still working two jobs, when in reality you're probably just lying to me.
I use work pretty generally. Like, I could be working on cooking, I could be working on a job, I could be working on schoolwork, I could be working on sleep.
Yeah, that explains it. That explains when I text you at 3 in the morning. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, buddy? Working. Oh, all right.
Chaz leads a hard life.
Cool.
It's a hard knock life, man. Let me tell you.
It is. Well, guys, welcome back. Hopefully we'll be back into the swing of things now. But today we're going to talk about the long-awaited review of Bloodborne. So,
even though everyone probably has a review out by now.
I know, probably.
From our perspective.
But hey, we're funny, so we're better. You know what's funny is I really, really wanted to make a fake podcast earlier and be like, all right, guys, here we go. It's the review of Bloodborne. Ready? It's freaking hard, and then that's just the end of the podcast. That's just the end of it. Because that could
9 out of 10.
It is the most disgusting and despicable game I've ever played. 9 out of 10 stars. So
that works.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about Bloodborne today. So let's jump right into things, and let's start with we have a little list here going on the side. We're going to start talking about story and enemies. So whoever wants to jump in first.
So, this game is pretty cool in stories because it tells a story implicitly. It doesn't explicitly feed you the storyline like long ago in Bloodborne, blah blah blah.
But I like that.
I thought I did too, and I do. Of course, I like someone to tell me a story, but I like actually like going back, trying to figure out where to go, and then finding out a story that's involved with what I'm trying to find out. That's really cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm ever going to find out like the entire like overarching story. I know generally what it is, but I don't think I'm going to ever learn everything.
People are turning into werewolves. That's what I assume.
That's one of it, but
that's all you need to know.
That's all that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I found out there's like 3 different endings, and just some of the characters that are involved with this ending, and like what your involvement is with, the major overseeing creatures or people involved in this story arc, and it's just really interesting. But I'm sure Matt knows more about it. He's a Souls freak, so please enlighten us.
It's a blood
orb.
I mean, I don't think none of us have finished the game, so I personally have no idea what the endings are. I just know how to get them. But
yeah,
I don't know. It kind of starts out as like you're waking up. You've obviously got some sort of blood disease. They call you a pale blood. I'm not sure what that means, but it's referenced.
It's very racist.
It's Caucasian.
Yeah. Okay. You're a white dude. In Chaz's case, Chaz made like a black white dude character.
I tried to make a black guy. Apparently, making black people on this game is impossible because you just come up with a white black guy.
He's just a charcoal Caucasian man.
Basically. He looks like a white dude got beat up real bad.
Chaz, you don't want to know what happened to all the black people in this world. Okay, let's just leave it at that.
It must be part of the storyline.
It's part of the story that you don't know.
You'll get there.
One day Chaz is going to beat the game and find out that part of the story and just be like... just drop the controller and run.
I've got sunglasses. I'm like, my God.
Anyway, so story and enemies.
Like I was saying.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Orb.
You've got some sort of blood disorder in the beginning. I imagine it's the same blood disease that everyone's kind of carrying around. And going crazy and turning into monsters over. But you get like a transfusion from this old dude that you have no idea who he is. But he has a really cool hat. I will give him that.
Where's the blood coming from? Is it his blood? Because has he been tested before we just put his blood in our body?
I don't know if it's his blood. It's somebody's blood.
Either way, has the blood been tested?
No.
I don't think so.
Guaranteed, no.
I don't think we have that sort of technology here.
Maybe it was treated by the healing church. But,
so you're not going to turn into a werewolf, but you are going to die of AIDS, probably.
Probably, eventually. That's a longer lifespan than these werewolves have, though.
That's true.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I mean, the story, I don't know. I don't like everything being laid out right away. Like, here's the story, but I like to, like, you don't even learn anything as you go, really. I mean, like, you're playing...
You gotta read, man.
Yeah, you gotta read everything.
Okay. Here's the problem with that. You're walking along, oh, look, hey, there's something to read. Oh, look, a werewolf's eating my face. Like, you can't always read.
There's plenty of safe spots.
Yeah, I mean, you get stuff that's in your inventory.
I have yet to find those safe spots.
No, Raymond, you're not going to go in the middle of a fight and say, wait, let me read this for a second.
Yeah,
and then that's all the item you just got.
You go back to your camp in the dream.
That's right.
I'm gonna go like, hold on a second, guys. Let me check this out. Okay, all right.
Although branching off what Raymond's saying, I have many times been invited to a party, went to my PlayStation screen, went back after being in the party, and seeing Bloodborne going across the screen, which in this game means you're dead.
Yeah.
This has happened to me at least 6 times. And I swear I'm in a safe spot.
Let me just say this. Bloodborne made me rage quit so bad I went back to PS3.
He went back a generation.
I got so frustrated that I couldn't even touch the PS4 controller. I was like, I'm gonna go play Mass Effect on PS3. I don't even care. I'm done. It was bad.
This game doesn't hand you anything.
It does
pain. But once you earn it, like it feels really good, and I think I have more of a sense of accomplishment from the Souls games than any other game.
Yeah.
When I earn something, I have this moment of relief, and then I turn a corner, and there's like something bigger and worse waiting, and I'm like, "Wow, that was pointless. There was no point to fighting that guy."
I've noticed is like after you beat a boss, it's not like, oh, here's a little area for you to explore that's safe and like an NPC to talk to. You just run straight into the next corridor.
Whole other stuff.
It's like, what are these things? I haven't seen these before.
I just feel like I just got to a level where I feel like the game developers were like, all right, we ran out of all these other enemy concepts. Let's just take every other concept from every other character that we had and throw it in a big blender and throw it on this level and see what happens.
They really went bonkers with enemy designs in the later level.
Crazy.
Yet there were still rats.
There are still rats, yes.
Rat bosses.
I remember I'm walking down the corridor and I look down in the sewer and I'm like, is that a rat? Oh no. Not
and
again.
the smaller rats are way scarier than the bigger rats.
Dude,
yeah, the rats are very scary in this game.
When it comes to rats in any Souls game, any Souls-related game, I just tap out. I'm like, I'm not even going to fight that thing.
Right, you don't even see the giant rat from Dark Souls.
Not. I don't want to. Actually, I saw a picture of it. I was looking up picture. I typed Dark Souls rats to send you guys pictures as a joke, and I see this giant rat, and I'm like, didn't get to that thing.
Yeah, that's the depths. That would be like your favorite place to be.
I bet it would. I bet I would enjoy it so much.
They replaced the rat with a giant pig this time.
Oh yeah, the giant pig, and then the crows are the new rats with me. Like I remember the first time I walk up on a flock of it's always in threes too. The first time I walk up on a flock of crows, I'm like, "Hey, is that a crow? Oh my god! Oh! Like it was bad. It was so bad."
They bark at you and
they do.
confuses you.
Right.
Oh, Matt, what did you pull?
So that's the one. That's the one from. Is that a mohawk?
That's an albino rat
with a mohawk.
Yeah, that's in the Painted World from Dark Souls.
God, I love the Souls games.
It's a pretty sweet rat.
So these new rats have like giant eyes, and they just kind of like move around and stuff while they're attacking you.
You're talking about the Bloodborne rats?
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
They're wild.
Yeah.
They behave pretty similarly though.
Can we get off the rats? I'm already having nightmares. Okay.
Rats. Fine.
Yeah,
rats.
He's gonna have a dream of like Christopher Walken's floating head in space, just repeating the words rats. Oh god.
Then I wake up and Christopher Walken's laying next to me. Rats.
Could you please pass the rats?
Wasn't a dream.
Oh god, it's happening again.
Alright, so is that good for story and enemies? You ready to move on and talk about some weapon and armor?
I'm down.
Is there actually armor? Like
there is.
See, I haven't gotten
plenty of armor.
I mean, it's all like coats and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I got a cool hat and a coat.
So that's one of my favorite things about this game. When I first saw it, I was excited that they got away from like the knights medieval, arena and got into this like this old like Van Helsing
type stuff.
Yeah, like that was really this gothic feel. I love Vampire Hunter get-ups. They look really
Going
cool.
back to enemies for a second, is there anything else than werewolves? I don't care if you spoil it for me because I'll probably never make it there.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
See, I have yet to see anything other than werewolves. I have never seen anything but werewolves.
Dude, it's
You should play the game again, man.
Let me finish Mass Effect. Let me clear my head with some PS3 Mass Effect, and then I'll be at peace and I'll come back to it.
There's some stuff in there that will, I mean this in the most literal sense, blow your mind, or suck your mind out through a straw.
I don't want to know what is happening.
It'll happen either way.
I'm
but
gonna avoid this like the plague.
They're pretty
probably in the
monsters.
Game.
Yeah.
Once you get to a certain point, Ray, there's just gonna be eyeballs scattered everywhere.
Yeah, and
then it'll spread to the enemies. It's pretty incredible.
And demon babies.
And demon babies, and a lot of other things.
Dude, the funniest thing that's happened to me so far is I'm in Old Yarnum, and I pull out the torch, and I just watching the werewolves go, like they're like bagging up in fear. I'm like, oh. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, yeah, like, come on, let's do it.
I didn't think that was a thing. I didn't know that worked.
Yeah, some enemies are scared of fire.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
I don't know what you just pulled up, Matt, but I don't want to know what that is.
You see a lot of those in the Chalice dungeons, and some of them are totally naked. Just a big white baby-looking thing. It looks really funny when it's naked.
Is there Shrek junk hanging out?
Not that I know.
That reminds me of a mixture of Shrek meets the Boomer from Left 4 Dead.
Interesting.
That is a pretty good combination to come up with.
It reminds me of like the uncle from the Addams Family.
Fester.
On steroids.
Fester. Yep.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's that.
And lost his freaking mind.
Okay, so I don't know what really to talk about for armor. I mean, what do you guys use? I have the old Yarnum coat. I think I don't know.
I switch a lot, but my favorite setup so far is it's called the Golden RDO, and it's just like kind of a big pyramidal golden metal helmet.
So amazing. So amazing.
And I wear that with like the Tomb Prospector chest. I like how that looks. The Tomb Prospector chest has like the biggest collar you'll ever see. It like goes over your ears and then folds back down to your shoulders.
That's
awesome.
ridiculous.
It is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think my favorite setup right now is I have two characters. On my first character, I have like a white church garb, and then I have a gravedigger's mask, which is it's like a pointy hat, red pointy hat, but the face is like a giant, two black holes for eyes and like a giant gaping black mouth. It's really intimidating looking.
I still need to find that.
Yeah, it's so amazing looking. And then for my second character, I have like the crow feather cape with like a jacket front, and then Father Gascoigne's like brimmed hat. My guy's got a big beard, sunglasses. And,
I actually wore that exact thing for a long time.
Did you really?
With that cloak. That cloak's so cool, though.
It's so BA. It is. I think the only thing that comes close to it, I don't know if you got this armor set, but it was the burnt armor set that you get in Old Yarnum.
It's called the burnt?
It's burned armor. Yeah, it's got like a big, like, burnt, like cut up cape with a giant collar that goes around your neck.
I don't think I got that.
Yeah, it's really well hidden.
Though, actually.
It's really well hidden.
I have a coat. So
well, there are a lot of those in the game. That's for sure.
I have a coat, guys. So pretty professional.
All right. I hear you. Yeah, I freaking love this game. Right now I'm using the Blades of Mercy, which is it's a transformation weapon, which is one of the things we're going to talk about, I guess, which is one blade that splits off into two daggers, which is amazing.
It is really strong.
Yeah.
Matt, are you still using the Church Wheel of Death?
Yeah, I'm still bashing
Demonic
heretics to death, so still carrying on.
I've been using
with the good word.
I've been using the Kirk hammer. So
how's that? You like that?
I do, mostly because right now
you use the hammer transformation most of the time?
I actually use the sword part most of the time.
Well, okay, that's not okay. Just
because it's quick? Yeah, just because it's very quick.
It's a terrible PvP weapon, but it's pretty good for smashing bosses and NPCs.
Yeah.
I used it for a long time, and then I found the wheel, and there's just no point anymore.
The wheel.
The wheel
is so great. It's
The
also
wheel of
historically
fortune.
accurate. Not that people are throwing it around.
One viewer, by the way, guys, and I'm getting fact checked. It's called charred armor, I believe.
Oh, right. It's charred armor.
Yeah, so you got fact checked, son.
Good call.
So,
Yeah.
so
Well, now you can go and find it now.
yeah.
Where is it?
I don't know.
say?
I haven't found it yet. I've
It's
been all
in
over.
Old Yarnum.
Is it in the rafters?
No. It's like in this spot where you have to like jump off a balcony, and you have to make a jump across to another balcony, and then drop down, and it's in this door that you can only get to from the balcony that you can drop down. But
Goodness gracious! All
yeah,
right.
it's really, really well hidden.
How'd you find it?
I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna jump off this balcony.
That's
All right, then.
Wait. How have I not found it? Because that sounds like a me thing to do.
Well, it was a
I'm
balcony.
gonna jump off this balcony.
It was a balcony with like a perfectly missing hole out of it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think they put this here for no reason. So,
Right.
like everything in this game has a purpose of some sort, so you can't really ignore anything. I just happened to find it. The game design, the levels are just so intricate that you'll find yourself like looking around in the distance and up close, and there's just so many things to look at. It's kind of like sensory overload, so it is easy to miss stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the items glow.
I can assume that favorite weapon so far would be the same thing that we're currently using. I mean, my favorite weapon so far is definitely the Kirk hammer.
Yeah, the wheel is my favorite. There it is, right there.
And that's Matt, the big giant guy.
The Hulk.
Yeah, so
I feel like Matt would be more of the guy in the background with the wings.
They
With
all
the
have
woman.
wings, so
Oh,
that dude's got some muscular wings then.
yeah, he does.
He's got little tiny pixie wings.
That's why he's ripped. But I like the wheel and the Blades of Mercy. They're two completely different weapons.
I haven't tried any skill weapons, so I mean I'd like to use like the burial blade and like the
Oh my
beast claw,
goodness! Yeah,
that stuff.
Why
the
do I
burial blade
feel
is one of the
like
things that got me in the game. What?
why do I feel like that the Blades of Mercy have no mercy whatsoever?
It's kind of an ironic name.
Because they murder you so fast. Instead of throwing it out.
It's
Touche.
somewhat merciful. Somewhat
Right.
merciful.
Sure.
It's funny, they really make you work for that weapon too. You either have to like go on this crazy set of missions with that crow woman, or you kill her. And I tried to kill her early in the game.
Whoa, spoilers, guys.
I mean, anyone who wants to find out about the game is going to look it up anyway. So
Oh no, I meant for me, because in 6 years when I finally get past a certain part, I'm gonna be like, hey, look at that.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, so
Bloodborne 3 is out. What are you doing, Ray?
Come on, man. Get your
Give me a
PS8.
minute. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
I got this.
I've been saying that for 6 years.
Share play. Come on.
That's okay. So funny story. That is literally how I was able to get the beckoning bell. Is I was sucking so much that we did share play, and I was like, Chaz, take the controller, get me to the beckoning bell, get me to the first boss, because I could not get to the first boss.
It was like a 3-second lag too. It was like I had to give a lot of forethought into what I was about to do.
I commend you though. I commend you.
Oh my goodness.
I would have gotten there eventually, because I am improving a lot. Like I definitely can tell from when I first started playing, I'm improving. I'm doing a lot better. But we wanted to play together, so I was like, we can wait 2 hours for me to improve enough to get to the first boss, or you could just do it. And there we go. And then as soon as we got the beckoning bell, I summoned Matt, and he helped me beat the cleric beast. So
it worked out.
You helped me beat the cleric beast.
yeah, that's true.
Matt, yeah, and with help he means standing in the background with Bloodborne pom-poms.
I literally did stand there and go, yeah, Matt, you get him. I'm gonna be here.
Yep.
And
then he was dead.
That was it. Game over. Game over.
All right, guys. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Let's talk about the transformation weapons. Now, my question is, since you guys are obviously further than me, do all the weapons have a transformation like that, or is it only some of them?
All the main hand weapons have a transformation. That's what they're all called trick weapons.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
What about the wheel? Like, what's the wheel's transformation?
The wheel splits into like two basically and gets this like bloody aura around it. And Chad showed me that you can like spin it by pressing L2, and like it saps your health, but I guess it gives the damage a boost.
Huh.
I don't use that a lot. I don't use the transformation a lot either.
I rarely use the hammer part of the Kirk hammer. I really only use it for, like, if I got a bunch of guys, like, kind of crowding around me, I'll do one big swing and kind of knock them down. But the sword part of the Kirk hammer is so quick that that's mainly what I use.
It's also, like, 80% weaker.
It is.
The sword?
Yeah.
It is, but you can strike so fast that it makes up for it.
It's got a reach advantage for the hammer. That's usually why you use it. But again, it's you have to. That's part of the game strategy. You have to know when to use what type, which transformation of your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it kind of like some of the weapons don't even like the saw weapons don't really change too much. They give you a little more range, but the movesets are basically pretty similar. Which I played with the saw cleaver like probably half of my original playthrough. And it was fun, but there's really no reason I found to use the transformation because the strikes were a little slower and the range wasn't necessarily that much better.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just went with the quick close range strikes most of the time, and I kind of got bored with that.
Yeah, the saw weapons get old pretty quickly. But I think they're just there just to kind of introduce you into the trick weapons. I don't think anyone really stays with them.
Yeah, and the thing about the saw weapons too is you can keep your you can keep your gun out with the transformation, which you can't do with most of the other transformations.
Yeah, unless you have the spear. A lot of the spears have, you can keep them when you transform.
Oh, like the gun spear?
The gun spear, and then the pile driver, or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. There's a weapon called the pile driver.
The stake driver.
Stake driver. That's
Oh,
what it is.
Do you remember the weapon I was using, Ray? With
Yes.
you?
Yes.
That's the stake driver.
I thought that's what it was. Don't tell me there's a weapon called the pile driver and get my hopes up.
There's a pile driver in another FromSoft game called Armored Core.
Oh yeah.
That thing is nuts.
Oh my goodness. 2 pile drivers.
Yep.
Basically
I used to do
kill.
I used to do one-on-ones with my friend, just straight up pile drivers, and that was a lot of fun. We'd run out of like pile driver shot and just have to like crash into each other to kill each other.
That's really funny.
I feel like we're thinking of 2 different pile drivers here.
Yeah, this isn't a wrestling move.
It's not? Okay, well then I'm not
drives
interested.
Piles.
Not interested. No. Unless you are inverting someone and dropping them head first, I don't want to know.
Fine. You don't care about giant robots, I guess.
Everyone should care about giant robots. This is why they're going to rebel against us and kill us all, because no one cares about them enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
So, anyway, all right. So transformation weapons. Let's move on to. I mean, this is gonna be pretty easy for me to do. But what has been the hardest boss so far for you guys?
I'm gonna have to just say Rom, the vacuous spider. Apparently a lot of people have been having an easier time with him. Maybe I was just underleveled when I fought him, but he is just a giant blobby larva thing in this huge like lake arena, and you run in, and as you run in towards him, like 20 spiders drop out of the sky around him, and they just sit around him. Like if you back off a lot, they'll back up towards him. So they're really defensive spiders. But once you get up close, they'll just start like hopping around and doing huge damage if they hit you, and it's like a multi-stage boss too. So when you hit him enough times, he'll teleport away and then start shooting you with a bunch of magic stuff. So that was the tough part, is just getting around the spiders while also dodging his magic, and that was just it was a pain. He probably killed me 15 times with and without co-op partners. I finally beat him solo.
That's good.
But, spoilers, there's a second ROM in the game, in the G.E.L's dungeons, and it's in an enclosed space with a bunch of pillars.
Dang.
And it is just a nightmare. Like, even more so than that, because there's no space to run around, because there's so many spiders.
That blows, yeah.
Not looking forward to any of this.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, that was kind of a pain, definitely for me too. Honestly, my boss came earlier in the game. Mine was the car Amelia. I had to beat her. I have 2 characters, so I had to beat her twice. I had to do it both times with a partner. Oh wait, no, I killed her one time by myself after hours and hours and hours.
I got close plenty of times, but I think she's the one boss I have who I haven't killed solo.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was bad because she keeps healing, and
you can't do enough damage.
yeah. I mean, unless you have this, I forget what it's called, but it basically inhibits healing. If you throw that at her, she'll try to heal, and then just like she can't do it. So it'll give you the opportunity. But the first time I fought her, I spammed the button and kept throwing them at her, and I used them all up, and basically screwed myself after that.
Yeah.
So I had to go do something else until I got leveled up enough.
Man.
But I think what I like that helps me a lot with these bosses that you can cripple bosses temporarily, which is really helpful.
And you can do the visceral move, which is the critical attack on quite a few of them.
Yeah, it takes a pretty big chunk out, so that's pretty cool.
I call that the shank.
Shank.
That's right.
Right in the face.
Right in the face.
Shank.
Grab right up their nose and yank.
Let's pull the nose hairs.
You know what's funny is I think my toughest part wasn't even a boss. I mean, I've only seen 3 bosses. The first 3, obviously. So I'm still an old Yarnum, and the most frustrating thing for me wasn't even the boss. It was the hunter on the turret, or whatever it was. That was so freaking ridiculous until... So this is basically what happened with this. I'm going the long way around, getting shot, getting blown up. Just everything is... I'm dying constantly, and I'm talking to Matt, and I'm like, hey, I need your help getting past this guy. It's ridiculous. So I get ready to play, and I'm like, okay, let me get to a safe point where I can basically get you in. And I accidentally run off the roof. Like when you so you run it, you're going, you take a left onto the little bridge, you fight the guys, and you go down the steps, and then normally the way I was going is I go down the second set of steps through the tunnel, and then through the part where he blows up the pots. Well, I accidentally got, I was dodging guys, and I rolled right off the roof. And suddenly, I see people behind me, and I'm like, oh crap, and I start sprinting, and then I find a ladder. Then I go up the ladder. And then I realize I am right where I need to be to fight the hunter, and I didn't have to go all the way around.
That's actually the way I found first. I was just rolling off the building. I didn't know there was any other way down.
Yeah. You have to fight one of those big werewolf guys with the sheet over their head, whatever.
Those aren't werewolves.
Whatever they are, whatever. Everything's a werewolf. No, you have to fight 3 of those big guys. You get ambushed a couple times. He shoots exploding pots. There's a lot of tough stuff you got to get through. The whole time could have just rolled off the roof. Didn't know that. So that was the most frustrating part for me. Not only because it was tough getting to him, and then it was frustrating because I realized I could have gone to him the whole time. But on top of that, I basically, when I got up the ladder, he just destroyed me immediately. And then come to find out, same bit of frustration. I get destroyed immediately 2 or 3 times. Then I knock him off, and it was just so bad. So Chaz just left. He just disappeared.
Left the building.
Chaz got fed up. He didn't like my answer.
Nope. It's a bad answer.
I don't like what you're saying.
I'm done.
Done with this.
No, but it was just frustrating because it was tough to get to him, and then you find out the whole time it was really easy, and because when I ended up finally beating him, it was super easy because I cornered him and then hit him a few times with the sword, and he fell off the building, and I was like, oh. So,
I think that's how most people kill him. I just went up the ladder and shot him a couple times, and he fell off.
But that's what was so frustrating to me is he killed me 3 times, and then come to find out he wasn't even that hard to beat. And I'm like, really? Okay, this is the guy gave. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. That was actually the night I went back to PS3. I was like, this. It was right after that. I was already at a really high frustration level, and then I turn a corner and get destroyed by a werewolf, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out.
Aside from the bosses, I guess you could call them mini bosses because they don't respawn after you kill them. But the hunters, some of the hunters are a big pain. The first couple of hunters that I ran into, their Cathedral Ward, the first one's this isn't so bad. He had a mace and a wooden shield, which is very not good to use in this game. Killed him. And then the second guy who just spams his gun over and over.
And a gun spear.
Yeah, it never freaking runs out of bullets.
No.
So, that just happened, and it was just such a pain.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was just
I
terrible.
just danced around the well in the center, like keeping him at bay and like dodging his bullets till I could like get one swing in.
Yeah. Heavy weapons bad, but
I wish there was a way to just charge him and just tackle him off the. I was willing to kill myself to kill him. He got me so frustrated.
Oh, did you get to him?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about the one with the gun spirit, like the one.
The hunter.
Yeah, but like. And then there's a second hunter down below, which I didn't even bother fighting him. I just sprinted away from him as fast as possible.
He likes to heal a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, so I think that was the most frustrating part for me. I've only seen three bosses, only beat 2. Matt helped me beat the first one. I say I beat them. I haven't beat crap. Matt beat the first one for me. The second one, the priest, you guys kind of helped me. You guys took out for me. The priest actually I had less trouble with than the cleric beast. Now, albeit he had just transformed when I finally lost, but like the cleric beast, the first few times I fought him, I barely took his health down. The priest, I got him down to half health my first try, and they turned into the werewolf and killed me. So I wish I could have saw how I would have done by myself. Because he wasn't as big, I fight better with people on my level. When they're giant monsters, it's tougher for me. I don't know why. That's just I can't fight the bigger monsters as easily.
Are you scared of big monsters?
I am scared of big monsters. I just get startled and then I just stand there in the corner.
I think it's the intimidation factor. You've got this big looming beast just like swinging at you, but honestly, I'd rather
this little sword. I'm like,
it's hard to read movements though on a creature that's like towering over you and you're like under its feet. You can't see its arms or its head.
Right, yeah, that does make it. There's one of the giants in the cathedral ward who has like this chain with like a giant ball at the end of it. Like when he first started swinging that thing, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get that close to that guy. Are you kidding
terrifying.
me? I was like, no. And then like he started swinging and then blew his knee out, and then he just like laid there for a second. I'm like, oh.
Who are the big guys? Like the first guy you encounter that's pounding on the door.
Pounding on the door.
The troll.
Like a troll.
Oh yeah, just those giant dudes.
I remember the first time I beat one, how happy I was because they killed me so many times, and I finally got I was getting better and I beat him, and I was like, yes, I was so happy, and like it wasn't even a boss, he's just an average enemy, but it was like the most joy I've ever felt in my life.
You could experience more of that if you played more of the game.
I will. I will go back to it, but I guarantee there's going to be a lot more rage quits, and I can almost 100% guarantee that by time I get to like halfway to the game, you guys will have already been done playing it, and I'll probably just sell it. I can guarantee that's going to happen.
I'll probably be playing this long after you've stopped.
Probably, me too. This is my first PS4 game, so it's very dear, dear to me.
Yeah, we forgot to celebrate the fact that Chaz is now in the world of PS4.
What, are you going to make him a cake or something?
Yeah, come on, please.
What? I already have the cake, guys.
I bought the funfetti.
I'm gonna send it to you in an envelope.
A manila envelope.
A manila envelope.
Vanilla envelope.
Would it be a vanilla envelope?
Yes.
That's not funny.
I want my freaking cake. He's like, what is this? Why is it green?
No, I wouldn't even question it. I'd be like, my cake arrived.
My cake.
Yummy. Hey Ray, I got the cake you sent. That wasn't cake, dude. I sent you fruit. So I guess that brings us to the point of I pretty much said it a couple times. You guys haven't really talked about it, but where are we at and what level? I'll go first this time since I've already kind of said it. But I am still at Old Yarnum. I am a measly level 20, but I am like the pit bull of the Bloodborne world. Like, I may be small, but I have a lot of heart and a lot of anger.
That doesn't mean anything in the Souls games.
So does everything else.
No. See, and it's funny because the one time I got to the hunter by myself was because I got so mad that I just destroyed everything in my path. I was like, ah! Like, I was just like, oh, I was so angry. And then I got to the hunter, and he shot me and killed me immediately. And that I was like, are you? No, this isn't fair.
He did that to me the first time I saw him too.
Wait, which one? Which hunter?
The one on the turret.
On the tower. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get up to the tower, and I'm like, hey, this guy doesn't look so. Boom! Right in the face.
Yeah, see, Matt warned me about that guy before we got up there, so I was like ready to put him down quickly. So like every time I get up there now and I fight him, well, the second time I just shoot him. I'm like, you're too close to the edge to be a threat to me.
I really wish there was an option to just go up to him and be like, this is Yarnum, and then just kick him down the pit.
You can say that climbing up the ladder, and then as soon as you get up to the top, shoot him. So I mean, instead of a boot, it's a gun.
I want a boot. I want to kick him in the chest off of the tower.
Yeah, it's funny. Funny you should say that. It's actually one of the things they took out of the game, the Souls games. There's no kick button in this one.
Yeah.
That was a thing in the Souls games.
That's
before.
because they knew people would try that, and they just wanted to screw with you.
Well, I think it would be really stupid now in this game because you've got a guy with a gun who can literally zip around the battlefield, and then you got a dude like running up going, like trying to kick him. It just looked really stupid during a PvP
I guarantee
fight.
if that was still in the game, that would be my most effective attack. I would be able to do things with a kick that did not seem humanly possible. Like, you guys would be, I'd be like, hey, I beat my first boss. Oh, really? You did? How'd you do it? I kicked him in the face. What? Like, yep. I went right up to him. I kicked him in the face, and he's dead.
That's how Father Gascoigne killed me about 5 times. Just
a kick? He kicks?
He has a kick in his werewolf form. It's like
super
long range too.
God, you're right. Kicks are really powerful in this game. The Bagmen, the Deathbringers, I think they call them.
They were really tough kick too.
Man, it's like an MMA kick.
The NPC's feet are registered lethal weapons.
Yeah, I think those child snatchers just like buff their heel, and then just like stomp it into your spine.
Just their foot. Then
Just
that
their foot,
high kick, that anime kick. It's freaking bad, man.
Falcon kick!
Yeah, the first time I ever came across, I know this is about enemies, but the first time I ever came across a Deathbringer, he had, I guess, taken out an enemy that was there before. He killed him, and so he took his place. I was like, that guy wasn't there before. I'm like, he's only got a bag full of toys. Like, I can take him. And I went up there, and he just, like, he booted me. I'm like, wow, he's really strong. And then, like, I brought him down, and he went Super Saiyan. And then went up there and, like, anime kicked me in the face. And then he stuffed me in his bag and took me to a jail cell. I'm like, oh, look, a new level. Then he left the gate open for some reason.
That was quite an experience.
I'm not going to lie to you. If someone kicked me in the face and defeated me, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, well, you deserve that.
I had a gun, and you kicked me in the face.
You are obviously working. You are obviously not skipping leg day, sir, and you deserve that. Like, I'd be like, respect. Like, thank you.
Yeah. This guy's so BA. Like, he was able to kill me with a bag, a hoodie, and no pants.
Yeah, no pants. Never pants.
Not having pants was part of the power. It
I don't want
immediately catches you off guard. You walk in, you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
You think he's going to flash you, and he kicks you in the face with those extremely powerful
it's distracting, and, I mean, initially you think you interrupted him, like going to the bathroom or something, so you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, and you just catch him in the face.
I think the Deathbringers are like the bros of the Bloodborne world. Like, when they kill you, they like stand over you. Like, you shouldn't have skipped leg day. I didn't.
What?
Drinking a jug of muscle milk.
Chugging muscle milk.
Why are you doing this?
His bag full of protein shakes.
When you first walk up, he's just like, what? Oh, you flinched. That's right. Right.
He just flexes on you and walks away backwards.
When you're trying to get to a new level, he's like, oh.
That's the thing. If he was the bro, like if he was the bro of the of Bloodborne, he wouldn't beat you. He would just like flex and threaten you, and then be like, "You lucky that I tore a rotator cuff today. Like I gotta go."
So you mean he would take your milk money or something? Give me your milk money. I don't have
milk money.
I have blood vials.
We haven't been able to afford milk in this village for 13 centuries.
So I guess I'll go to the next village then.
Alright, fine. Yeah, you lucky. You don't got no milk money, because I would take it. I would take it so hard.
Why is he such a thug? You're lucky, bagging away. You're lucky.
That's exactly what I picture. He just slowly back up. You are lucky. You are so lucky. I gotta. My mom's in the hospital, so I gotta go see her. But you are lucky.
He just continues to talk, walking backwards into the horizon. You can't even hear him anymore.
What's his big bag of muscle milk?
What is? Get out of here!
Are you still here?
I can still hear him in the distance.
No, you said he had no pants. Did he have a shirt? Was he Winnie the Poohing it?
He had a hood and like a cloak to his thighs.
So he was Winnie the Poohing it.
Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's like broke because he had like a workout hoodie on. I just came from the gym. Got my bag.
He's the bro after a party because he's so drunk he lost his pants. He doesn't remember though. He's like, "What? What are you all staring at? What's up?"
Why he's so aggressive? He's trying to find his pants.
Then he looks down, but he doesn't acknowledge it. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's all good. I mean, I just do this all the time. This is fine."
Bros.
I really, when I get to this point of the game, if he does not start backing away, pointing his finger at me and making excuses, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed.
They'll be disappointed because he'll probably kill you. Just like he did me and Matt.
You know who else had a super hype kick attack?
Which one? Who?
Andre the Blacksmith in Dark Souls 1.
You fought him?
Andre the Giant.
I know.
Why did you fight him? That dude's just jacked.
I know he is. Like,
of course he kicks.
It was the end of the game, and I played the game a few times, so I was killing all the NPCs. Andre the Blacksmith.
Okay.
He is a giant.
Andre's a kick fighter. Of course he kicked you.
Yeah, he just punches you. He boxes you, and then he'll do a running drop kick, 2 legs right into you, and it knocks you over. It's amazing.
Mistake number 1, you messed with a guy named Andre. Mistake number 2, you messed with a blacksmith. This guy, literally, all he does all day long is stick metal in fire and hits it with a hammer.
That is all he did. He didn't have a fire, though, so...
He didn't need it. He was hitting it so hard that the friction was causing fire.
He didn't need to heat it up before hitting it. That's how strong he was. That right there, if you show up and he is making swords without fire, you should have walked away.
Did he kill you,
this guy doesn't need fire to be a blacksmith. He is obviously someone I don't want to mess with.
Right.
Did he kill you, Matt?
No, he didn't. I was like level 120, and he was just lowly Andre the Blacksmith.
Even though the level cap is like 100, you managed to eke out an extra 20.
There's no level cap, Chaz. You can go up to 700.
I did see a guy who was 700, level 700.
I think it was 712 was max level.
I think they one level up was like 200 billion souls.
It's millions of souls. Like, you can't even hold it. Like, max souls won't even get you to max level.
How does that... What? I don't understand people.
So funny thing also about that Bloodborne that happened recently. So, when I played Dark Souls, we've shared the story how I attacked the crestfallen warrior, and come to find out later that he ends up going crazy and being a bad person, and I attacked first, and that means I'm a great judge of character. Similar thing happened with Bloodborne too. I'm in Hunter's Dream. First of all, the doll was staring at me, pissing me off. I killed her. I'm throwing that out there. She was just looking at me. I didn't like the way she was looking at me, so I killed her. Okay?
She's a doll. She just stares off into the distance.
I don't care. She gave me a look. I stabbed her with my sword. Okay? So let's just leave it at that. Okay? The next thing I did was I walk into the house, I see the guy in the wheelchair. The guy that started this whole mess woke me up, said, "Hey, guess what? I'm transfusing your blood. You're now going to be a hunter.
That's not the
Get
same
out
guy.
there and get killed." Yeah. Anyway, killed him.
It's the same guy.
Killed that guy. Didn't really kill him. I mean, you hit him and he kind of disappears. But anyway, I kill him. I tell these two about that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, did you know he ends up being a boss later in the game?" And I'm like, "See, I told you. I know when to kill people."
He's still alive. You just temporarily sent him away.
No, I know that. But I'm saying, like, I looked at him and I'm like, "You look like a villain. I'm gonna kill you."
See, I thought that today too, and I got punished for it because I tried killing this guy who was literally a beggar. He was a Bloodborne's version of a hobo, and I hit him, and he like turned into a dark sludge puddle, like this viscous kind of puddle. I'm like, oh, that must be his way of dying. And then this giant, jacked, electrified Super Saiyan werewolf came out and just started whooping on me. Just like, what?
It was awesome. I've seen that.
Where did the beggar go?
You yourself said that everything in that game is intentional. Why on earth would you think there is a beggar begging from, like, on the streets of Yarnum or wherever
He's
the heck
on a roof.
Whatever.
When I found him, he was eating his family.
Listen. First of all, why did you mess with that guy?
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag right there. Red flag number 2 is the guy is begging amongst werewolves. Like, you know that
they're leaving him alone.
Well, I think
the werewolves see this guy and go, "We shouldn't mess with him," and they keep walking.
On my first playthrough with my first character, I took him and sent him to Cathedral Ward, which, like, there's this really creepy guy in Cathedral Ward is like, "Send people my way, I'll take care of them." I'm like, that's really creepy. Okay, I'll send him your way. You know, and then
it sounds like he's eating people.
No, he's actually the good guy. He's the good guy. There's nothing wrong with this guy. The creepy guy is the good guy.
So when I just know when the creepy guy says, "Send him my way, I'll take care of him." That sounds like a cannibal vibe to me.
Everything's opposite.
Well, he didn't really give you anything, you know. I'm like, okay, fine. You're probably a bad guy. I'll send him your way. And I found the beggar. I started sending NPCs, like, you know, ladies stuck out in the night, like, you know, prostitutes, whoever is out there who needs. I sent the beggar there, and the beggar was like, first of all, I found him eating his family or whatever he was doing with his dead family, and he gave me something. I'm like, oh, this guy gave me something. He mustn't be such a bad guy. And then when I talked to him again at the Cathedral Ward, he gave me something else. But I started noticing something was happening. Everyone I sent to the Cathedral Ward to be safe started disappearing, and there were just blood stains there where they were. But he was fine. He was fine. And the creepy guy was dead, too. He was gone. He? Yeah, they killed the creepy guy first. He killed him first. I know. And so I'm like, and then I read online, they're like, oh, you might want to kill him. He's killing NPCs off. I'm like, you son of a... And then I went out there, and I hit him like, you're nothing. You're just a beggar. And then he turned into that and just put the complete smackdown on me.
And then I came back one time, and he had one of the NPCs' skull and was making it talk.
Like, he was drinking out of the skull of the nun that I sent there. It's like, hey, I got this new cup today.
Okay.
And I was like,
hey, you're probably
that's good. Hey, wait a minute. That's a cool cup. Where can I get one of those?
The pile of skulls that he was sitting on was growing progressively every time I came back.
He sits next to is full of bones.
Never at any point did Chaz go, huh, this guy's up to something.
No, I was just like, I should probably kill you.
This poor cannibal with leprosy. I should take care of him.
When you killed him, you didn't actually mean to kill him. You tripped and you accidentally stabbed him.
Well, what it said was the Cathedral Ward is like a holy place, and if he goes inside of it, he's going to take a lot of damage. Well, just to give you an idea how big this guy was, he was so big he couldn't fit into the Cathedral Ward. So he was running into the door, and he was stuck. His giant biceps was like stuck in the door. He's like, I'm going to eat you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm stuck in the church. And so I had to like throw daggers at him in the doorway. He's stuck, hoping that he couldn't get in this.
Why are you not recording your gameplay? Because I would have loved to watch this.
It was pretty memorable. It was definitely one of the more memorable moments. of
Okay,
the game.
so we got completely off subject. Where are you at and what level are you, Chaz?
Oh, first character is level 82, and I'm at the end of the game. Haven't fought the last boss yet, and the second character is level 60, and I'm about midway through the game.
Okay,
Ish.
Matt?
With my first character, I'm about level 75. I'm also on the last boss, who I have fought once. He's gonna be tough. Maybe. He might take me a little while. We'll see.
We'll see.
But my second guy was made for helping Ray, so he's about level 25, I think, and also in Old Yarnum.
Awesome. Stay there.
Correct.
Don't move on.
Don't move.
Because I'm gonna
like
need
I did.
Well, actually, guys, my first guy is level 90, and I've beaten the game.
Oh my!
A long time ago, like
my.
6 hours. No, I beat the game in like 10 minutes. It was really easy.
Goodness.
Like the whole time when you start the game, if you just go to the right instead of the left, there's like a secret path with no villains. It's
Right.
like, you just walk it. You're like do 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 do. Like it's really easy.
That actually sounds legitimate too, because there's a path to the right at the beginning of the game.
Just everyone seems to go to the left for some reason, just because the guy in the wheelchair told you to. I'm like, hey, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a rebel, and I went the other way.
I have legs that work.
I have legs, but you don't.
That's so terrible.
Oh, he's got a posse behind him that follows him around everywhere and just screams.
I'm not a rapper. I'm not a rapper.
Wheelchair.
I'm not a rapper.
posse.
Oh, that.
I'm not a rapper.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like this is disintegrating into something more than Bloodborne. So I think it's time to wrap things up. You think?
That's fair.
Put it in the gift wrap, throw it away.
I think the golden gem of this podcast, which there's always one. Our very first one when we came back, the golden gem was the Street Shark conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The golden gem of this conversation is the bro guy that just like you lucky, you are so lucky that I gotta go do some stuff right now. That is gonna be engraved in my mind. The Death Bringer. That I'm going to remember that, and when I get to that point in the game, I'm just gonna start cracking up laughing because of that.
By the way, that's his gym bag. That's what he's carrying around.
Got a lot of sweaty socks in here.
Mid conversation, he pulls out a blender bottle. Yeah.
Just wait.
Hold on. I gotta do my protein. Hold on. Just for 15 minutes of the battle, he's shaking that thing.
It's just attack.
I'm gonna stab you now. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, gentlemen, if there's nothing else more for overall, before we close out, overall review of Bloodborne. What out of how many stars? I don't know. 10 stars, I guess.
I don't believe in stars. Great out of great.
Great out of great. Okay. The orb has spoken.
I say 9 out of 10 because we didn't talk about it, but geez, the loading screens and the co-op has got to be fixed, guys.
Yes.
I know you're not listening to this because we're a lowly podcast group, but
no, they're listening.
They're trying to patch the load screens. I don't know about the co-op though.
They need to patch that first.
They do.
We skipped over game issues. I forget. We totally forgot. Oh well, whatever.
They'll find out.
It'll if you get the game, it's there.
I guarantee in the next podcast, because we're all going to still be playing this by the next podcast, we'll bring it up or something. We never stay on topic. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, I would give it. I give it 7 out of 4 donuts, because that's how I roll.
Wow, that's a great score.
Yeah.
How can you get 3 more donuts if you only have 4?
Because
it's the police discount.
Because I know a guy, so I know a guy, and he gets me donuts.
Okay,
I know a guy.
I gotcha.
All right. Well, for G.E.L. podcast, I'm Ray Emling.
I'm Matty G.
And I'm Chuck E. Cheese, talking out of turn.
Have a good night, everybody.